The right mind does not chase money. It attracts it silently, with power and merit.
Have you ever noticed that some people seem to attract money easily, while others struggle their entire lives and remain in the same place? No matter how hard they work, how much effort they put in, it seems that prosperity simply slips through their fingers. And you know what's even crazier? The problem isn't out there. It's here inside, in the mind. Napoleon Hill, the greatest success mentor the world has ever known, said that wealth doesn't start in your pocket, it starts in your mind. Many people try to get rich by chasing formulas, strategies, and shortcuts, but they ignore the most important principle. Your mind is a magnet. It attracts or repels money all the time, even if you don't realize it. Your thoughts create frequency. Your emotions shape your reality. And what you believe deep down determines how much you will be able to manifest. Thinking positively is just the tip of the iceberg. The real secret lies in what you feel when no one is looking. In this video, you'll discover truths you've never been told about the mental flow of money, how to eliminate limiting beliefs that sabotage your wealth, and the exact point where emotional visualization meets powerful action. Get ready to confront invisible patterns that have been blocking you for years. It won't be comfortable, but it will be liberating. And if you apply what you're about to hear here, your financial results can transform in a matter of weeks, or even days. So, before we continue, do the following. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. This is very important for the growth of this work and to ensure that you don't miss any new content that can literally change your life. Like the video too, because that way YouTube delivers this knowledge to more people who, like you, are ready to attract wealth consciously. Napoleon Hill always said that money doesn't start in your pocket, but in your mind. Most people seek wealth by chasing external things, without realizing that money is, above all, a reflection of what happens in the invisible. There is a mental flow, almost like a river of energy, that attracts or repels abundance depending on the frequency of the thoughts we cultivate. What you think repeatedly, feel intensely, and believe with conviction, this is transformed into matter. That is why, according to Hill, the mind is the true bank where the seeds of fortune are deposited. This mind stream is like a radio. It's constantly sending and receiving signals. If you tune your mind to scarcity, all you'll hear is static and noise. But if you align your thinking with the power of your mind, personal growth and professional development, you'll start to pick up on ideas, opportunities, and even connections that previously seemed invisible. Money doesn't just appear out of thin air. It flows where it finds internal permission, and that permission is encoded in your beliefs and emotions. Hill believed that thought is creative, and that is no cheap philosophy. Think of the people who have transformed their lives with a simple change of mindset. From failed salesmen to millionaire entrepreneurs, they all started with a fixed thought, a clear image of wealth accompanied by a burning belief. This is what activates the mental flow of money. The universe, like a silent mirror, reflects only that which you project with unwavering conviction. But here's the mistake many people make. They want to attract wealth by keeping a mindset full of fear, doubt, and guilt. The mental flow is not fooled. It captures the real vibration behind the words. And if your frequency is polluted by negative thoughts, by limiting beliefs about money, the result will be financial blockage. It's like trying to water a garden with a clogged pipe. Nothing will flourish. A good exercise that Hill recommended is to visualize a mental bank account growing every day. Imagine yourself receiving, investing, and even donating large amounts of money. This visualization exercise, done with emotion, stimulates the subconscious to identify real opportunities. What's more, it reinforces the success mindset, a key that unlocks the cycle of manifestation. But be careful. Without true emotion, this becomes just empty theater. It is important to understand that the flow of money does not respond to brute force or haste, but rather to your inner state. It is when you cultivate positive thinking, declare affirmations of prosperity with faith, and act coherently that the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Napoleon Hill reinforced this. Money is a faithful servant of the well-trained mind. A disorganized mind, on the other hand, turns money into an enemy or a ghost. And when this flow is unblocked, something magical happens. Profitable ideas emerge, the right people come to you, and you become a magnet for abundance. Not because the world has changed, but because your inner vibration now allows wealth to flow to you naturally. And this is where one of the biggest barriers to manifestation arises. There is no point in trying to manifest wealth if, deep down, you believe that it is something dirty, unfair, or unattainable. Napoleon Hill said that negative beliefs are like invisible anchors. No matter how hard you row, they keep you stuck in the same place. Most people have been carrying phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are thieves, or money doesn't bring happiness since childhood. And the subconscious, naive and obedient, accepts all of this as absolute truth. These beliefs are inherited mental programming, often from loving but also limiting parents. Repeated over the years, they create a silent blockage that prevents abundance from flowing. Even when a person studies success mindsets or prosperity affirmations, if these negative roots are not uprooted, personal growth is compromised. It's like trying to plant a new garden in contaminated soil. Nothing thrives for long. One of the most effective ways to identify these beliefs is to observe your reaction to seeing someone very wealthy. Do you feel admiration or judgment, inspiration or envy? What you feel reveals what you believe, and what you believe shapes what you attract. Hill has always emphasized that it is impossible to hold negative thoughts about money and still become rich consistently. Mental reprogramming requires confronting these ideas and replacing them with liberating truths. You can start doing this today. Take a piece of paper and write down all the negative phrases about money that you remember hearing in your life. Then, next to them, write the opposite of them in a positive and powerful way. If the old phrase was, money is not for me, the new one will be, I was born to live in abundance. Repeat these affirmations every day with emotion, in front of the mirror, looking into your own eyes. This may seem simple, but it transforms the subconscious in a profound way. It is common for internal resistance to arise during this process. The mind begins to sabotage itself. This won't work. This is nonsense. Nothing will change. But this is precisely when the power of the mind must be activated with greater force. Remember, if it were easy, everyone would be rich. This internal battle separates those who just want to get rich from those who truly decide to get rich. And those who truly decide to do so face the discomfort of transformation with courage. By eliminating limiting beliefs, you release a dormant inner strength. And with it, new behaviors emerge. You begin to value yourself more. Charge what you are truly worth, invest in personal development, and make choices aligned with your growth. Little by little, reality begins to reflect this new mental code, almost like magic, but in fact, it is pure universal logic. A clean mind attracts clean money. And the most surprising thing is that, by rewriting your beliefs, you change not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Children, friends, and even co-workers start to be inspired by this new attitude. And abundance, previously seen as a privilege of the few, starts to seem like a legitimate right. But there is something even deeper that needs to be awakened for this transformation to be solid. You can repeat affirmations every day, study Napoleon Hill's teachings, set up a vision board. But if, deep down, you don't believe that you deserve to be rich, nothing will happen. The universe doesn't deliver what you desire. It delivers what you feel you are worthy of receiving. The feeling of deservingness is like an invisible password. Without it, the vault of abundance remains locked, no matter how hard you knock on the door. The origin of unworthiness often lies in childhood. Many people grew up hearing that they were too expensive, a burden, or that everything was difficult. These phrases, loaded with pain and scarcity, entered the mind as silent truths. Years later, when trying to get rich, an inexplicable guilt arises when receiving more money, as if something were wrong. This self-sabotage is subtle but powerful, and until it is healed, the manifestation of abundance remains blocked. Developing a sense of worthiness is an act of rebellion against everything you've been told. It's declaring to yourself, I am enough. I deserve to live well. I am worthy of wealth. Not as arrogance, but as recognition of value. You can start by creating small rituals of honor for yourself. Allow yourself to eat better, dress with more love, invest in your personal growth. The brain associates these gestures with an increase in self-worth, and so does the universe. A powerful exercise is to write down all the reasons why you deserve to prosper. List your qualities, your efforts, your desire to grow, your discipline. Do this often. Each written word reinforces, in your subconscious, the permission to receive more. Remember, no one gives treasures to those who do not believe they are worth receiving. This is a key point in Napoleon Hill's teaching. Value is first recognized internally, then reflected in the world. Another important detail: deserving is not expecting to earn without doing anything. It is knowing that your effort is worthy of a return. It is acting with self-discipline, with motivation, with a focus on self-improvement, and at the same time eliminating the negative thought that says, you are demanding too much from life. A person who feels deserving walks with an upright posture, makes firm decisions, and does not shrink in the face of wealth. This feeling even changes your relationships. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop tolerating environments that diminish you, and you start getting closer to those who vibrate high. This changes everything: your connections, your opportunities, and even your vision of what is possible. Those who feel worthy attract situations that confirm this deservingness. The universe responds like a faithful mirror. It gives you back exactly what you believe you are capable of receiving. And when this sense of worthiness takes root, a new challenge is born. Thinking big. Not just dreaming of small victories, but making mental space for something much bigger. Thinking big is scary. Not because it's impossible, but because we've been conditioned to believe that dreaming big is arrogant, that wanting more is ingratitude, that seeking wealth is a sign of an inflated ego. Napoleon Hill made it clear: thinking small doesn't protect anyone, it only limits them. When you dream big, you're not being arrogant. You're being true to the potential you carry within yourself. And that in itself is an act of spiritual courage. Guilt for wanting too much is a silent poison. How many times have you felt wrong for wanting a better house, a more comfortable life, a routine with freedom? This is not selfishness. It is divine right. Hill explained that the universe is abundant and wants to express itself through us. Refusing prosperity is like closing the windows against the sun. The brightness is still outside, but you choose to live in the shadows. This is not humility. It is self-sabotage. Those who think big move forces. You start to see possibilities where you once saw obstacles. Ideas flow, magnetism expands, and opportunities arise from where you least expect them. But it all starts with inner permission. You need to allow yourself to dream big, desire more, imagine the best, and not just for yourself, but for others as well. Thinking big means including more people in your plans. It means thriving with purpose. And if you've made it this far, it's because you're ready for it. Thinking big is an invitation to transformation. And if this content is touching you in any way, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This will help our work immensely to reach more people who, like you, are seeking personal growth, conscious manifestation, and mental reprogramming. Your support is essential for us to continue expanding this message. And now, let's go further. People who have changed the world have started with bold thoughts. Steve Jobs envisioned the personal computer. At a time when it seemed like a joke, Oprah Winfrey believed in her own worth when the world rejected her. They didn't apologize for thinking big. They gave themselves completely to their vision. What about you? Will you continue to shrink your dreams to fit what others find acceptable? Big thoughts need to be accompanied by clean feelings. There's no point in dreaming big and then blaming yourself right away. What you want needs to feel legitimate. And that only happens when you look inside and say, I can, I deserve, I will. This is the trinity of emotional worthiness. Napoleon Hill would call this applied faith, a conviction so deep that it becomes unshakable in the face of external doubts. And when that faith meets the right visualization, something almost mystical happens. The mind begins to attract with clarity, intensity, and precision. And everything that once seemed unattainable now seems inevitable. Visualization alone does not change reality, but when charged with true emotion, it becomes an almost supernatural tool. Napoleon Hill said that emotion is the fuel of the creative mind. Seeing money in your imagination is not enough. You have to feel the money. Feel as if it were already there. Feel the vibration of buying what you want, of living freely, of impacting lives with your wealth. Feeling, and not just thinking, is the secret that few master. Emotion shapes the image. When you visualize your bank account full, your business thriving, your family living comfortably, and you feel gratitude for it as if it were real, something inside you changes. The brain, which cannot distinguish between reality and imagination. When emotion is involved, begins to operate as if it were already happening. This is mental reprogramming happening in real time, and the universe, like a mirror, begins to respond. But be careful. Visualizing with emotion is not a fantasy of escapism. It's training, it's conditioning, it's daily practice. You can create a simple 5-minute morning and night ritual where you close your eyes and visualize specific goals, a specific amount of money coming into your account, the contract you want being signed, your business thriving. Do all of this with genuine feeling, as if you were there. The more real it feels, the faster it manifests. Use sensory triggers as well. Imagine the smell of a new car, the sound of the gate opening to your dream home, the texture of expensive clothes, the sparkle in the eyes of the person you are going to help. These details activate deep areas of the subconscious and record the visualization as an emotional truth. And when the emotion is true, the universe listens more intensely. The frequency rises. The manifestation comes closer. The mistake many make is to visualize it coldly, as if it were a mental to-do list. The universe does not respond to apathy. It responds to vibration. If you want to get rich, feel what it is like to be rich. Imagine yourself walking lightly, speaking confidently, being admired not for your ostentation but for the quiet authority that abundance brings. This is the mindset of success. This is personal growth applied in practice. He'll emphasize that feelings have the power to shape the ether, that invisible substance where all ideas circulate. When you project an image with emotional strength, you literally send a request to the universe with top priority. It's like writing in capital letters, "This is what I choose to live." And when this visualization is done consistently, it begins to change even your posture, your decisions, and your words. And that's where the next key comes in, which completes this process, transforming this visualization into action. Because those who feel that they are already prosperous begin to act as such. Thinking is the first step. Feeling is the second. But acting is what separates dreamers from achievers. Napoleon Hill was clear. Desire needs to be accompanied by persistent action. It is not enough to believe that it is possible. You have to live as if it were already real. Action, when born from a prosperity mentality, is neither anxious nor desperate. It is firm, sure, coherent. It is the kind of movement that tells the universe, "I am ready." People with limiting beliefs act out of fear. They hesitate, doubt, and wait for the perfect moment. On the other hand, those who live with positive thinking and activated mind power act even when the external scenario has not yet changed, because they understand that the internal movement comes first. The mind creates, the body executes, and the world responds. That is why Hill spoke so much about self-discipline and personal initiative. They are the pillars that support any process of manifestation. But be careful. Aligned action does not mean doing everything at any cost. It means acting strategically, with intention, with clarity. If your goal is to get rich, for example, what kind of content do you consume? Are you studying finance? Have you researched investment options such as Treasury Direct, real estate, funds, or even variable income? Are you creating something of value or just waiting for a miracle? Prosperity requires positioning. An attitude aligned with abundance manifests itself even in the details. How do you dress? How do you take care of your home? How do you treat your money today, even if it's just a little? Every small gesture reinforces or contradicts your intention. Those who think like they're rich don't act in a relaxed manner. And this has nothing to do with status, but with a mental pattern. Hill called this wealth consciousness, and it expresses itself in actions even before the money arrives. Another essential point is consistency. An isolated action, no matter how powerful it may be, does not generate lasting transformation. But consistent actions, done daily with faith and focus, reprogram your mind and your reality. Write down goals, read books like Think and Grow Rich, study biographies of successful people. Keep your routine aligned with what you want to manifest. Prosperity is not achieved in a single leap, but with conscious steps every day. And the beautiful thing is that when you act with this mindset, you start to get noticed. Doors open. Invitations come your way. The right people show up, not because you were lucky, but because you have become a magnet for value. Your actions convey that you have something to offer, and the universe does not ignore those who move with confidence and clarity. And this is exactly where a powerful principle comes into play, one that Hill deeply valued: the act of attracting value, and then becoming worthy of receiving it in return. Napoleon Hill was emphatic. Money is just a symbolic reward for the value you deliver. In other words, if you want to receive more, you must first offer more. Value is not measured only in products or services. It is in the energy, in the presence, in the impact you have on people's lives. The world rewards those who solve problems, who inspire, who contribute. Money, therefore, is a natural consequence of a useful life. But here's the common mistake: waiting for money before creating value. Like someone who says, "When I get paid well, then I'll put in the effort." This logic is backwards. Prosperity doesn't come from automatic merit. It comes from perceived contribution. If you want to earn more, ask yourself, what can I do to improve people's lives? How can I make my work more meaningful? What knowledge can I offer that will create change? Attracting value requires constant personal development. The more you grow, the more you have to offer. Read, learn, observe, test. Become someone rare in what you do. A barber can cut hair, or he can create an experience that raises the customer's self-esteem. A salesperson can push a product, or he can listen carefully and offer exactly what the other person needs. Value is in the details, and that's what builds authority and financial magnetism. The universe is efficient. It doesn't invest energy where there is no return. When you start to become valuable to the world, it starts to invest in you. It sends you opportunities, increases your visibility, opens doors where there were previously walls. Hill taught this clearly. Do more than you are paid to do, and soon you will be paid more than you do. This phrase sums up one of the most powerful laws of success, the law of expanding value. And the most curious thing is that the more you dedicate yourself to generating value, the less worried you become about money. It starts to come naturally, by natural attraction. Anxiety decreases, self-confidence increases. This is because you no longer depend on luck. You become a source of solutions, and a source never runs dry. This type of mentality makes you stand out in any area, be it professional, spiritual, or emotional. You can start with something simple. Record short videos with useful tips, write inspiring texts, help someone without expecting anything in return. Plant value in the invisible field, and you will reap recognition in the visible world. Don't underestimate small gestures. Hill said that the universe observes everything, including what you do when no one is looking. True value is born there, in silent integrity and daily commitment. And from the moment you become a source of value, you receive it easily, without guilt, without burden. But there is something that many ignore, and that defines whether this flow will be lasting or temporary. And this key is hidden in the way you treat the little you already have. If you don't take good care of the little, how can you expect to be trusted with the much? Napoleon Hill often spoke about the power of respecting what you have. Life tests, the universe observes, and whatever you despise, it leaves you. To treat with disdain what you already have is to declare energetically that you are not ready for more. Prosperity begins with practical gratitude, with zeal, with care. It's not about quantity, it's about awareness. Many people say they want a better car, but they don't wash the one they have. They want a bigger house, but they barely take care of the one they have. They want millions, but they're always complaining about pennies. Hill called this vibrational incongruence. You can't expect the best while treating the present as if it were a burden. The way you relate to the little reveals how you will act when the big one arrives, and the universe understands this precisely. Treating little things well means honoring every detail of your current life, organizing your wallet, cleaning your space, being thankful for food, valuing each customer, each sale, each penny. This generates a vibration of abundance, and this vibration attracts more abundance. It's not superstition, it's energetic logic. Everything you respect grows, everything you ignore weakens. Prosperity begins in the invisible, but it expresses itself in the small actions of everyday life. This care also applies to time, relationships, and the gifts you carry. Are you cultivating your skills, Are you delivering excellence even in small projects? Are you doing the best with what you have now? Those who value the now build the future. It's a simple but powerful rule. Hill said that success is made up of small duties well performed day after day. And this is how the universe tests your readiness for more. Even when you are tired, even when it seems like no one is watching, keep treating what is in your hands well. Because what seems little today could be a lot tomorrow. And those who act like millionaires before they have a million prepare the ground to receive it. Wealth respects those who respect it. This attitude changes your energy, changes your field, changes the type of opportunity that finds you. Think of a garden. If you take good care of the first seedling, it will bloom, attract bees, and soon spread. But if you neglect it, the garden will die before it can even grow. The same is true of money. It needs to feel that it is in good hands. And good hands are not necessarily the most skilled, but the most committed to making it flourish. This is personal growth in practice. This is true manifestation. And as you begin to honor every detail of your current reality, something begins to dissolve within you. That heavy anxiety, that desperate rush, which, by the way, is one of the biggest blocks to prosperity. Anxiety is a silent thief of manifestation. Napoleon Hill warned that the fear of lack is as powerful as the lack itself. When you think about money with desperation, what you are vibrating is not abundance. It is lack. And lack repels everything you desire most. The universe understands vibration, not words. You can repeat, "I want to prosper," but if inside you are tense, insecure, and distressed, that is what is communicated energetically. Anxiety is desire mixed with fear. It is the "I want it to happen soon" added to the "what if it doesn't." This mix creates invisible blocks, interferes with mental clarity, and hinders intuition. The anxious mind cannot hear the signals. It becomes agitated, rushed, impulsive, and then bad decisions are made. Unnecessary expenses occur. Relationships are sabotaged. It is like running through a minefield of emotions without realizing it. To truly manifest wealth, you need to trust in the unseen. It means accepting that divine timing is perfect, that the process has a rhythm, that what you desire is already coming to you, as long as you are vibrating openness, not despair. Hill taught us to cultivate applied faith, to act as if victory were already certain, even without visible proof. This is not denying reality. It is aligning ourselves with a greater reality that is on its way. A powerful practice for dissolving anxiety is the use of calming affirmations. Phrases such as, "Money flows to me easily," "Everything happens at the right time," "I am ready to receive with ease," help to reprogram the mind for trust. In addition to this, daily meditation, focusing on breathing, and even mindful walks with gratitude in your heart drastically reduce mental noise. Prosperity requires inner space. Another point is to understand that money loves light environments. Stressful, tense, chaotic situations drive away fluidity. On the other hand, environments of calm, gratitude, and focus open paths. It is no wonder that great business people, athletes, and spiritual leaders practice silence, pause, and contemplation. They know that the mind needs space to create solutions. And wealth, more than sweat, requires inspiration. And inspiration is born in the creative void, not in the unbridled rush. The secret is to act with intensity, but without rushing. It's about trusting the process so much that you don't even need to check your watch every second. When you plant a seed, you don't dig in the ground to see if it's growing. You water it, trust it, and move on with your life. The same goes for money. Letting go of anxiety isn't about giving up. It's about surrendering with faith and moving forward with peace. And when this peace sets in, the money starts to come without resistance. Because finally, your mind has stopped blocking the flow. And in this state of surrender, the most fascinating point of all is born. When money stops being the main focus and becomes just an inevitable consequence. There comes a time when money stops being the goal and becomes a reflection of your mindset, your internal state, your vibration. Napoleon Hill said that true success is a side effect of mental alignment. When the mind is right, clear, strong, at peace, prosperity is inevitable. Not because you are chasing it, but because you have become the kind of person that money wants to hang out with. This Change is subtle but radical. People stop acting out of scarcity and start acting out of purpose. Everything they do carries intention, dedication, and value. They no longer seek immediate results. They seek excellence. And excellence, sooner or later, is rewarded. Hill emphasized this in all his works. Do not desire to be paid more than you deserve. Become someone who deserves more than you are paid. Money begins to follow this silent logic. And when this state of mind takes hold, true freedom is born. You no longer depend on luck, favors, or coincidences. You operate in a field where your actions generate returns, your words inspire trust, and your presence opens doors. Wealth begins to seek you out. Opportunities arise in almost mysterious ways. You think of something, and someone calls you offering it. You visualize it, and an idea emerges. The mind becomes a magnet. This is exactly why so many teachers, entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, and thinkers, from Hill to Neville Goddard, agree on one thing. The secret is not to chase money. It is to become magnetic to it. And this is built with positive thinking, mental reprogramming, deep and constant self-help, personal development, and, above all, self-discipline. You train yourself. You build yourself. And then, you receive. Money stops being a struggle and becomes a flow. It comes because you are ready, not because you are begging for it. It multiplies because you know how to use it wisely. It stays because you have developed a rock-solid success mindset. And so, what was once an obsession is now just a tool. You no longer live to have money. You have money to live, to grow, to impact, to transform. And here is the magic that few people understand. When money stops being the focus, it manifests itself with greater intensity. Because attachment leaves the scene, and faith enters. Because fear diminishes and deservingness grows. Because scarcity dissolves and abundance takes its place. This is the peak of personal growth. It is when your financial reality becomes nothing more than a reflection of your inner evolution. And when you reach this state, you finally understand that the mind has always been the most valuable safe. And now that it is unlocked, everything begins to change. Now tell me, after all that you've heard, are you still going to treat money as if it were an enemy? Or are you going to, once and for all, take control of your mind and transform your reality? Because yes, it's in your hands. The prosperity you seek is not outside of you. It's just waiting for you to become the version of yourself that is already capable of receiving it. Are you going to keep repeating the same patterns that have kept you stuck until now? Or are you going to apply these teachings and start moving with purpose, awareness, and a mindset of success? How much longer are you going to wait to decide that you deserve to live with freedom, abundance, and financial peace? Because I assure you, the universe has already heard your request. Now it wants to know if you are truly ready to receive it. Question that remains is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to let this energy die when the video ends? Or are you going to put it into practice today? Are you going to continue to feed limiting beliefs, or are you going to replace them with powerful affirmations? Reprogram your mind and act with clarity. The choice is yours, and each choice has a price or a reward. And now, I ask you one thing. Share in the comments what impacted you most in this video. Which of these truths did you need to hear today? Your interaction not only strengthens this community, but also further activates your manifestation energy. It's as if you were saying to the universe, I understand, and I'm ready. And if you haven't done so yet, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel now. Activate the bell, because in the next videos, we will continue to delve into secrets that most people will spend their entire lives without discovering. Here, you will learn how to manifest money, yes, but also peace, clarity, confidence, and personal power. And that is worth more than any number.